Hey guys, thank you so much for coming back to another episode of Automobiles of Distinction. I'm Matthew Ivanhoe, president of the Cultivated Collector, and today we have a really, really special one. You know, pre-merger AMG Mercedes Benz stuff is just so cool, so juicy, and today we're taking you to Atlanta to one of the world's foremost experts on pre-merger AMG Mercedes Benz. We're going to see our friend Jonathan Hodgman of Blue Ridge MB, who is going to take you on a journey exploring our Mercedes 560 SEC 6.0 dual overhead cam wide-body AMG. Peak of the peak, best of the best, in Malachite Green, incredible car, and we couldn't be more excited to share this with all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy.
Good day, everyone. Happy to be here, happy to be part of Automobiles of Distinction, and we're going to be going over this Malachite Green wide-body 560 SEC AMG 6.0. and give you a rundown as to all that makes it special and awesome and wonderful. So prior to Mercedes purchasing AMG, you sort of had a standalone tuner that was very a la carte and would do more or less anything you wanted as long as you were willing to give a large enough check to make it happen. And compared to modern AMGs, you don't have quite that flexibility, so that these are so special, so customized. And every example really kind of makes them more unique, more special, I think, to the later cars, which are more homogenized, it's standardized. You go in, you have boxes you can check, nothing much more. So that level of adjustability and tailoring, I think, really sets them apart, makes them desirable in a number of ways, because you just don't have that this day and age. AMG was actually able to take a spectacular car and successfully make it better. Really is something that shouldn't be overlooked. Mercedes of the era were the absolute best of the best, and it's really easy to make a Mercedes worse. It's very hard to make it better. And they understood that in doing so, it wasn't, you couldn't just approach it from a singularity, from a single point. You had to go and look at the whole car, and if you touched one thing, there were 10 additional things that also needed some tending to make it all coalesce as a unit and work better than it did. Otherwise, you'd be left with not nearly the product that we have today. And such to the point that Mercedes probably would not have come to AMG and said, we're going to buy you and make you our in-house performance division instead of building their own. So I think the fact that Mercedes went that route speaks the world of what AMG managed to achieve in modifying these cars in period. Today's example that we're looking at, this particular wide-body SEC, is an AMG Japan car through and through. One of the giveaways on all these cars is they have the Yanase sticker in the back, and you can pretty reliably know that that's where it was coming out of. And the AMG Japan was doing stuff like this later than AMG North America, than even AMG Germany, in my experience. I see much later examples coming out of there than I do other parts of the world. But this car was undoubtedly set over as just a regular SEC to start, and then it got the full wide body treatment. AMG put together the 117, 119 hybrid and bored it out to 6 liters, and they modified the transmission, the valve body, got a limited slip differential, got full spring suspension. They really took it to the end of the world as far as they could option-wise. 3-piece wheels, the interior with everything covered in leather, Recaros, and it's all buffalo leather, some regular leather. It's quite spectacular. It's just covered from stem to stern. It's a luxurious experience, to say the least. Wood on every other surface imaginable. AMG, their customers really did like their stereos back in the day. This one's no exception. It says added drivers throughout, Nakamichi gear, amps, you name it. They really they took this car about as far as one realistically could. So AMG wide bodies, they come in many different flavors, from just straight cosmetics to very little done otherwise to full-on madness, much like the example we have here today. Total numbers produced, it's all over the board. This particular car with a wide body and M117, M119 hybrid, and all the goodies, yeah, they're rare, but hard to say how many, 50, 60, 80, 40. No one really knows, but they're coming out of the woodwork, so it's nice to see that they're still in existence. And as I say, a lot of different flavors. This one, this particular engine, is unique. They only did this engine in Japan, really. They didn't build it. They didn't do any of the 117, 119 hybrids in Germany or the USA. So it's a good way to own one of these that's reliable, powerful, has personality, and you can really enjoy the car, not have to worry so much like you do with the delicate M117 dual overhead cam engine. And yeah, I say, and you can have a good time and not sweat life so hard. So as mentioned prior, Mercedes of the era were spectacular to drive, just stock. They're just wonderful, wonderful examples of automobiles as a whole, and AMG did manage to make them more exciting in every way imaginable. I mean, I guess the most obvious being, going from, at least in the US example, 238 horsepower to roughly 400 and change, and one of these is quite the change, and not only just the horsepower, but the torque under the curve you get with a 6-liter and all the rest of it, and just the added efficiency, 4-valve heads is just across the board more fun in every way. You modified the transmission such that the shifts are more positive, more engaging. They adjust the linkage so it kicks down a little more aggressively. It gets after it. I think they've got a little extra gear in this car instead of a stock 224, 247. It's around a 282, so it's got a bit more dig. It's a limited slip, so she'll hook up, she'll go. Brakes are basically stock, but even at the time they were sufficient, vented discs up front, dual piston all around, and yeah, they really managed to take all that was Germanic and wonderful and just amp it up a bit across the board. And I think that's one of the things that made these cars so appealing to so many folks, and why they're sort of experiencing this re-finding, this re-emergence now. People may have let them go away a little bit, and now they realize just how much fun, how engaging they are to drive, and it's still analog enough that your brain kind of gets this feel that it otherwise misses with anything modern. And I, for one, enjoy it very, very much, and I think anyone gets an opportunity to try it, they should. I think you'll find it very rewarding and very addictive. It's been a pleasure today, hosting with you guys for Automobiles of Distinction. It really was fun to have this car here, to be able to go through it, not only just mechanically on my own, but to be able to discuss it with you and tell you more about it, because it is really something special. And we here at Blue Ridge just really enjoy this kind of pre-merger goodness, if you will. And hopefully we'll see you again here sometime soon.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful, wonderful journey, wonderful exploration into pre-merger AMG Mercedes Benz. It's something that's so near and dear to our hearts, and we really couldn't be more privileged to be able to have Jonathan Hodgman, good friend of ours, who's just such a dyed-in-the-wool expert on these cars. So special thank you to Jonathan for joining us on this special episode, but moreover, thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stuff like this. I'm Matthew Ivanhoe, president of the Cultivated Collector. Thank you for stopping by.